On Chris Cuomo's show, he made a very interesting statement. Chris Cuomo said that he has knowledge that the results are consistent with, if this information is under seal, how did he get that information? And this gentleman was like, you know what, I'm going to wait until it's presented to the grand jury.
Now, I am hearing from sources that I will protect close to the investigation that the investigators do have more information from their autopsy. You have also heard that they know things about the first autopsy.
There are things that I know that I think the average person doesn't know.
I think there are things that I know that the average person doesn't know that are not points of speculation. They found evidence of water in tissue and cavities consistent with drowning. That there was water there, but it is not conclusive. I am being told it is consistent. Also, the toxicology early on shows a significant level of blood alcohol, the BAC level, as they call it in the body. You have also heard that. Am I correct, counsel?
I'm going to wait till the pathologist puts out the report.
That conversation from the sweetened audio, which sounds terrible, sounds like there's blaming and about Nolan waking up, and Nolan may well be there by the nature of this conversation. What is your position on the veracity of that sweetened audio?
That audio gets released by the Mississippi Department of Marine Resources. A version of it, it's not clear that that was the original audio.
Does your client remember the last time he saw Nolan Wells at the event? Does he remember the last time he saw him there?
Yeah, what I would say on that is he has told me that he did see Nolan that day, but that they really didn't interact that day. One of the things to appreciate here is that my client is 21 years old.
And mind you, Chris Cuomo said this confidently and boldly on his show. Tatum did another show where he had several of the boys up there, and the defamation attorney was up there. Now, the boys was up there saying that they've been getting accosted. They've been saying, one of them said that had Nolan's mom not put out their picture and blasted them, that they wouldn't be going through what they're going through right now. The defamation attorney said that there are two credible witnesses that said that they saw Nolan Wells about 10 minutes before 6 o'clock. He stated that the boys are innocent and that they were gone. Nobody said these boys were guilty, and nobody's saying they're innocent either. It's up in the air. But what they seem to be bothered by, from my personal observation, is the fact that people are coming for them saying, you should have never left your friend. That in no way, shape, or form is defamatory. People saying, hey, how is it that he decided to stay behind, but decided he wasn't going to take his keys or his phone? That's not defamatory. That's a very valid question. Simply asking those questions in general is not defamatory, especially when you clearly present them as questions. There's distinction versus insinuation. Defamation, in my opinion, is somebody saying, why did they purposefully leave him stranded? The bare minimum was making sure that Nolan had his keys and his cell phone. There's so much going on, and I feel like there's a lot of games being played, and I feel like, are we going to get to the truth? Honestly, I'm not going to say I lost faith. I'm still holding out for hope. One of the things that stood out to me with the defamation attorney and the boys when they were talking to Tatum is they said, why would we make a call knowing that we were doing something like that at that moment? Like, why would we even call the Coast Guard? Why would we make any type of calls to CETO? But remember, the Coast Guard call was canceled because you were getting help from one of the other boats. But I do feel like there's a lot of games being played, and I needed a break from it. That's why I haven't really been talking much about it, because it's the same thing. Every time you turn around, it's the same old nonsense. And until we get the results, I don't want to hear nothing else, to be honest. Now, when I come across it, I just scroll. Like, it's certain people I may or may not listen to, but I'm not into the conspiracy. We're here for the facts. And there's one fact that nobody could dispute, and it's not defamatory. Nolan is deceased. Nolan didn't make it home. Like Joseph Scott Morgan said, hopefully the reason why they held back certain parts of his body is because they're actually doing an investigation into this. But what do you think about Chris Cuomo making the bold statements that he did on his show, saying that he has information, saying that the AUTOPSY, that he has knowledge that is consistent with? And how did Chris Cuomo get this information? If this information is in fact under seal, how did he get it? Drop your thoughts in the comments, like, share. I'm signing off. See you next post.